Yep, that's right. My Heroes 1 Justice 3 has officially been leaked. The cover art, or at least the key art, it is not called One's Justice 3, but it's called All's Justice. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm hyped. I saw it last night when I was in the hospital room staying overnight for my brother, and someone showed me this Twitter post, and when I took a look at it, it seems to be this guy who seems credible with sources and leaks. We don't know exactly, how credible, but we do know that the name All's Justice has kind of been out there in the world for the next My Hero One's Justice game. They weren't going to call it One's Justice, they were going to call it All's Justice because it seems to be the last fighting game in the franchise of My Hero. At least that's what makes sense to me, at least. Because All's Justice, as you can see by the cover art, it seems to actually take place with where the anime is at now, which the anime is going to end at Season 8. So it would make perfect sense if this game came out around Season 8 or even after Season 8. And I believe in One's Justice 2, the story that we left off on was the Chisaki story, was Overhaul. And that was the last thing, and at the very end there was a little sneak peek. So it does seem like they are probably going to go from there and do a long story for, the so-called One's Justice 3. To be honest, I don't know how many times I'm going to call it All's Justice, but One's Justice 3 is going to be my name that I'm going to call it all the time. But that's all we know so far is this key art. Now, according to the guy who leaked the key art, he does say that he has some screenshots for what looks like to be the trailer that might come out soon. Now, on July 5th, there's going to be an Anime Expo event, which My Hero Academia will be there to showcase maybe a trailer for Season 8, an official trailer, or as well as some information on other stuff. And as you know, the one My Hero game that's been kind of cooking and kind of like, and I say cooking, I mean like still alive, is My Hero Ultra Rumble. As you can see in the background video that we are playing My Hero Ultra Rumble, we are playing as Deku. But My Hero Ultra Rumble has been the one My Hero game that's still been alive. If you ever go to One's Justice, no one's playing them anymore. There's probably like I think there's literally 0 people on My Hero One's Justice 1. And then there's maybe 10 people, and I say 10, that are on One's Justice 2. So the one game that's actually cooking up with players, and obviously because it's free, is My Hero Ultra Rumble, which is a Battle Royale game. If no one knows what this game is about, it is a Battle Royale game. But that has been the one game that's been cooking so far. So I think this is going to be a huge year for My Hero fans, with watching Season 8 in October, and then perfect timing for All's Justice to come out. Now, the fighting games for, the One's Justice series, they haven't been too bad. They, mechanically, they've been a huge issue. But I have a feeling that One's Justice 3 is going to be a really good game. Now, I know I say that about a lot of games. I say that about a million games. But I actually have, a really strong feeling that it's going to be a really good game. And only for the fact that we're going to be getting characters that, quite frankly, are, cool characters. I just wanted to add that I found this picture off of Twitter of this person's predictions and maybe roster for One's Justice 3 of all the characters that he thinks are coming to the game or are reasonable to come to the game, and I honestly agree. I do think that they're going to add a bunch of these characters, from Mirko to Star and Stripes to different versions of Hawks to Vigilante characters to different versions of Dabi and different versions of All For One and a lot of different versions of Shigaraki. And I really do think that this game can cook. I really do think that they can really expand the roster, and I think that's what they're aiming for. As we saw in the picture, there is definitely a Shigaraki of Season 8 confirmed to be in the game, and I don't think it's just a skin. So I do think that this roster can legitimately look like this in the beginning of the game or even at the full launch of everything. But you let me know in the comments below, who do you think is going to be in the game, and who are you excited to see in the game? And also, what DLC you think the game is going to have to offer? And I really do feel like they can cook. I'm not going to lie. I really do feel like they can cook. Now, we don't know when the trailer is going to happen. We don't know if the trailer is going to be, you know, at July 5th. There is also a Gamescom event in August, so that is another thing. August could be pretty well for that game to be shown, because I do think that this game should have a 2025 release. I don't think it would make any sense. Maybe it would make sense to release in 2026, maybe December, because that, well, you know, by the time that Season 8 is airing, they'll go from October to, I think, at least December will be by the time it ends. They always do some, you know, second part 2 to, you know, the show. Now, I want to say some of my predictions for the game. I personally think they're going to add characters like Mirko 100%. Without a doubt, characters like Mirko get added to the game. Probably other characters, you know, you got to think the game is definitely going to have DLC. The game is just bound to have DLC 100%. And it's 100% going to have some DLC, and I think Mirko will be part of that DLC. Shinso, I think, will be part of a regular roster. There's a Demon Slayer game coming out, and in the Demon Slayer game, they have like 4 different versions of Tanjiro. I also wanted to add that they can go down a Sparking Zero route and legitimately have a roster that's filled with just a million variants of each character. From 10 different versions of Deku to 3 versions of Shoto, 4 versions of Bakugo, and especially the movies, because Season 8 is the last season and they have everything. They have everything that they need to make this game awesome. Now, overall, that's everything that we know so far on All's Justice. Again, we do not know a trailer. We do not know, you know, what the screenshots look like, but that guy on Twitter apparently does. And it looks like the screenshots are just from the trailer itself, so I don't think we're going to get anything gameplay-wise. But All's Justice has been talked about for quite a while now, and I really do think that's going to be a huge game. Now, you let me know in the comments below, what do you think? Are you excited to hear about One's Justice 3? Are you a huge One's Justice fan? Because again, One's Justice is different from My Hero Ultra Rumble, 2 different games. And I am a huge One's Justice fan. I actually used to play One's Justice 2 a lot back on the Xbox. And now I play this mid-game, My Hero. Now, we love you, My Hero. But let me know in the comments below, what are you guys excited for? Who do you really want in the game? And I hope you guys enjoyed. I will cover this game more when we know more information. But for now, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out! Make sure you guys come over to the Twitch and follow me at TwitchPsychoUniTR, as well as TikTok, where we do streams every single day and more My Hero Ultra Rumble content than you can ever imagine.